Here's one for you to try. And again, I've selected one that I've assigned in the homework so that working through this problem is giving you a jump start on the homework. But give this a shot, then pause the video, tune back in, and we'll work through it together. Again, I want to take advantage of the fact that each zero has to correspond to a factor. So if I'm going to call my polynomial p of x, I know it's going to have a factor of x minus negative 2/3, which I could say is x plus 2/3, x minus 1/2, and x minus 4. Now that right there gives me three factors with x's in them, so that's going to make it degree 3. So I can't have any more factors with x's, but I can have constant factors. And because I want to have integer coefficients, I think I'm going to need some. Because if I were to multiply this out right now, I would end up getting some fractions in things. But I'm allowed to multiply by integers. So if I take this one and I multiply by 3, and I take this one and I multiply by 2, that's not changing the degree because I didn't introduce any more x's, and it's not changing the zeros because that's just introducing a factor of 6. That's not going to be the thing that makes this thing equal to 0. It'll still be 0 at negative 2/3, 1/2, and 4. So I'm just going to be strategic in how I multiply this out. I'm first of all going to eliminate the fractions by distributing that 3 to this factor so that I get 3x plus 2. And I'll distribute the 2 to this factor so that that becomes 2x minus 1. And then I'll have to multiply all of that by x minus 4. So let's just FOIL out the first two. That's going to give me 6x squared minus 3x plus 4x is plus x. And then the last terms give me a minus 2. I've still got to multiply that by x minus 4. So let's work that out over here. 6x squared plus x minus 2 times an x minus 4. I'm going to distribute the 4 to each of these terms. So I'll get an 8, a negative 4x, a negative 24x squared. And then I'll distribute the x to each of those terms. So I'll get a negative 2x, a positive x squared, and a 6x cubed. 6x cubed minus 23x squared minus 6x plus 8. That would be my p of x multiplied out. I didn't specify to give your answer in descending order. The book doesn't actually specify that either, but don't give your polynomial in factored form. In factored form, it's very difficult to tell whether you're having integer coefficients or not. And as you're checking your answers in the back of the book, they're all multiplied out. So do include that as part of the directions. I'll try to remember to explicitly say that when I ask you to do similar problems.